Sete sementes que eu mandei buscar, sete sementes do meu maracá. Sete sementes que eu mandei buscar, semente verde do meu maracá. Sete sementes que eu mandei buscar, sete sementes do meu maracá. Sete sementes que eu mandei buscar, semente verde do meu maracá. Preta véia de Aruanda, eu mandei chamar pra virar o pé de
So show us some of the techniques on that first instrument that you started out on, the pandero.
Right. The Brazilian tambourine is the pandeiro. Huh?
So you get some basic strokes.
Right. The first thing that was shown to me, actually, okay, was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Okay. So let's break it down. You've got an open tone with the thumb.
Yeah, but then the rhythm, the actual pattern that I would like to show, it would start with this close, which means with my finger against
the
head of the instrument right here.
Okay.
Right?
So you dampen
that's
the head.
close, and you get this sound here.
Okay.
Okay, so it's muffled kind of.
Right.
Open is. So the first thing that actually you have to learn is this sound here.
The open.
Is this. You know, it's like a, you know, you don't press
right.
against the instrument, because otherwise you don't get the sound. You go, you know.
Okay, throw it down.
Yeah, it's just bounce, kind of, you know, bounces your finger back, your tongue. Right. So that's the first sound.
Okay.
But then the pattern goes the same movement, but close. So it's like 1, 2.
Okay.
So it's like 1, 2. 2 is fingers.
Okay.
Like, and this is very important here. You bring it to you.
So there's very little motion really in the right hand. You bring the left hand up to.
That's true. Yeah.
To hit
you know, this is as important or even more important than this hand.
Right.
This just goes pa pa pa. You know, it's like 1, 2. You know, it's like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Okay.
One, two. See, like.
Okay.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
So the motion is really important to you. You throw it down and then rebound.
Yeah.
Up.
Yeah.
Right. That's cool.
I could show you like this, actually.
Okay. So that'd be a good exercise just to learn that motion. Then we'll put it in a pattern later.
Right. And then you go 1, 2, 3. 3 is slap, right? You go 1, 2. Oh no, 3 is fingers again. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Okay.
On the other side, so it's like.
Okay. The fingers down there, is it open?
No, it's all like this. It's closed too.
Okay.
See, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And still close, 4.
Right.
And then open.
Two is open with the fingers here.
Actually, it could be all closed.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. Could be the 4. 4 is the slap. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the first movement.
Okay.
Then the second movement would be the 1, 2, 3, 4 first. 1, open. 1, 2, 3, all open. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 close.
The 2 and 3 are open now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's open. That's the second movement. Now close.
On 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Okay, so it's like. See?
So that's the difference, is that the pattern is the same, but it's one it's closed on the first note and the other one it's open.
Right, right.
Okay. All right.
The first, second, and third notes.
Okay,
Right?
of the
Because
second
it's
part.
like 1, 2, 3, right? That's all closed.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, all closed. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, closed. The first 3 ones is open
Okay.
and then close. So
Okay.
it's like. You see the movement like. Okay, then.
One more question.
Okay, yeah,
So in the
sure.
first group, are they all closed? Just want to make sure we had this right.
Yeah.
Okay. In the second one, they're all open except for the last one, which is a slap.
Which is a slap. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
So then what comes next?
Then what comes next is the okay, is a pickup kind
Right.
of thing. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay.
2 opens in a row.
Yeah. And and 1, and 1, and 1, and 1. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, that's the first one.
Okay.
Then it's all open. 1. Okay.
And then you bring the pitch up by dampening on the boom goon.
Yeah. Which is like. It's almost like you play the surdo here and the counter surdo, which is called, which is, like the rhythm. You go, that kind of stuff. Surdo, counter surdo. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So it's like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Oh.
counting in two, the low notes go down two.
Right.
Right. So that's the essence of samba there then.
Yeah, it's true. This is like very old-fashioned kind of stuff. And that's, you know, we're talking about the basics, really. Yeah. Which is very important to know, I think, you know, because from this you can do so many things. Like when I do my solo, you know, I have so many tricks. I mean, you know, like I go like, which is just like, you know, pressing, you know, here.
Changing the pitch around.
You know, like on top of the mic, it sounds real good with, you know, big speakers for a solo thing, you know. And then, you know, the other thing, of course, is the, you know, and then you go like over here in the back, you go. Then you go, another thing that I do is like, you know, it's like.
All right, let's go back. Show me the first one. The right hand is just doing like a roll?
Yeah, just like a roll,
okay.
Right hand.
All right. And you just change the pitch back here?
Yeah, back here, but then you use more
pressure
one
than just
finger,
one.
Just so you get a stronger sound. You know.
All right. And what was the next one?
Then the next one is just, you know, it's like if you play you know, a hand drum.
Right.
That's not
frame drum, yeah.
Yeah, frame drum, right. So, let's see. This right there is with your thumb here, with your left hand.
That's changing the pitch?
And, you know. Or you could go. I just play like with these fingers because I don't want it to be too loud right in the beginning of the solo. That's the only reason.
So how'd you get that little swing out of there with the left hand that comes up and...
Oh, yeah. Well, I do this because, you see, I'm dealing with this here, right?
Okay.
When I'm going, you know, when I'm going. But then my finger, my thumb, it's, you know, I can't really press yet. So I go, okay? So I kind of...
That gives you some time to...
Yeah, I grab it again. I change the position, the way I'm holding the instrument. I have, you know, like instead of being like over here, right? Then I go. So it's like a...
So
what I'm doing really, I'm just grabbing it with a little more strength.
Okay.
And so this way, my thumb goes into the instrument a little more inside.
So you kind of let it go for a second to bring it up, and then when you catch it,
I let it go for a second.
You dig in on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I catch it again.
How did you start out? By just working on the different motions that were involved? Or how long did, I mean, that takes a while to get that together.
Yeah, it takes as long as it takes to learn how to whistle, probably, you know. Because, you know, whistling, I remember when I was a kid, one day I decided that I was going to learn how to whistle, man, you know. And I spent a long time, probably over a month or 2 months, I don't know, I have no idea, going...
Trying to get that sound to come out.
You know, and one day, all of a sudden, it just goes... You know, it's like, wow, I whistle. And then you want to show and nothing comes out, you know. And you have to practice more. It's just the same thing. You don't show anything to anybody before you know. I don't think so. You don't just go and learn how to play, you know, on stage or in your studio or whatever. You have to practice, you know. I don't practice anymore because I'm lazy and also, you know, I'm not interested in being so incredibly good that I'm going to just blow everybody's mind. What I do is what I do, and I learned practically on my own, you know. So most of the stuff that I play is my own little tricks and etc. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Would you advise just to try improvising on it? Try to find your own sounds. Just try to learn the instrument.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And your beats. I mean, you playing what? You playing funk? You know? Oh, you know, like you playing something. So then you go.
Yeah. So if you don't spend some time just shedding on the instrument and getting to know it, you're not going to be able to come up with stuff like that.
Right, because then you look at the instrument and all you can do is, or you know that kind of stuff, which is great. You know, so I like the New Orleans feeling. You know, every time I play New Orleans, I eat lots of oysters and also I listen to a lot of music. It's a whole different technique because it's my own, actually, to be precise.
And dealing with the head and tuning and the size of it and so forth, it really becomes an instrument.
Yeah, it's true. You know, it's like, it's your own instrument. You see, like, I don't believe that you go to the store and you buy an instrument and you just take it home and you play. You know, you have to know exactly where it hurts you, you know. So you have to kind of ease, you know, there a little bit. You always, because, you know, an instrument doesn't really, you know, it's not really like a glove, you know. It's, you have to feel it, you know, you have to, it's almost like
you
playing,
live with it.
Playing a grand piano and then you go play the, you know, PX 35810, you know. And then you go, and it's like, wow, you know, this incredible sound, right, comes out. But it's better, you know, like if I want wah, you know, I go wah, you know, that's wah. And, you know, or wah, you know, like shran, shran. Or I kind of, you know, I look at the instruments and I know the sound. And the reason that you know, I just developed my intuition, I could say, you know, so much, is because I spend a long time with the instrument.
With each instrument,
You see, it's like the pandero, man. I mean, I used to sleep with the tambourine, you know, under my pillow. And so, you know, it's a very important instrument to me.
Surdo, the heart of the samba.
Yeah, that's right.
So there may not be that many surdo players, at least outside of Brazil, but can you explain the role that the instrument plays in Brazilian music so that can help translate to the drum set and for people to get the feel of samba?
Yeah, well, this is what I mean, this is, as you say, I mean, this is the root of the rhythm, of the samba rhythm. And also the carnival, kind of a march, you know, that we play in a carnival time, which is the same kind of beat, actually. But it's applied to samba and also march, you know.
Right.
Basically, you have to use, you know, this is something that I just I improvised over here, but it's a special bitter, you know, for this. I just forgot it.
Okay.
So I just made one. One thing, you have to hit right on the middle of the instrument.
All right, dead center.
Otherwise, there's no depth to it. It's just, instead of, you know. See? That's the sound right there. So, and then also you have to put your hand back and hit this part here.
Okay.
Of course, you can also just play. That's like the basic rhythm that, you know.
But the, you know, swing is when you go through there.
Yes, you know, that's when you're a professional player and you know what you're doing, and you kind of, you know, spend some time with the instrument, then you can go. The first one is close.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Open would be, so it's like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So it's like 1 is close.
Right.
Let's say, okay, let's play a samba, all right? Okay, everybody now, okay, let's play a samba. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Would be the, you know, like the, for the start, right?
So the right hand is just bop, bop, and then it's in between, you're going there. Right. And the open tones, that's all coming from the left hand.
Right.
Okay. Now that's, I like that there's a little pickup in.
Yeah, for the swing, right?
Right.
Actually, you know, a nice beat, like a complete cycle kind of beat would be. So it's like. And there's another one that goes, yeah. So it's me. If you want to give it a little kick.
Now, what about the little turnaround that comes at the end of a phrase where boom, boom, boom?
Yeah, well, it's for the verses and the, you know, the bridge or whatever.
That's just like a kick into the next.
Madureira chorou, Madureira chorou de dor, quando a voz do divino oferecendo ao destino a sua estrela chamou. Madureira chorou. You know what I mean? It's like da 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 da. It's like a pickup.
Right.
So the people, they will go yeah. You know, because in carnival songs, most of them, it's one part that is very mellow, kind of la da de la da da. You know, and then no, that's actually on this song is the strong part is Madureira chorou. Then. The bridge is like da 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 ba da ba 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 da da ba da ba ba ba. So everybody's da 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 ba ba da ba da ba 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 da 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 ba cholo, and everybody go, yeah, that's right. You know, so every time you go through that little change from, you know, between the head of the tune and the bridge or whatever, you give that push, and the people, they stand up, they go for it.
That's
you know,
great.
But it's really just a pickup, you know, when you ask.
In the samba school, there'd be a lot of people. Is this like the lowest one? Or they actually
No,
they
that
make
is the
bigger,
Maracanã, which is bigger.
Uh-huh. Is this in the middle then?
Yeah, this is a big one, but not the biggest.
Right, right.
I like this size. It's kind of a medium size. Bigger is kind of too much. It's just for outdoors, you know. Just go boom. That's it, you know.
Right.
And it's great, but.
So I think we see some techniques that apply. We're starting to see some patterns here, like in the pandero, where the open tones sit and where that falls, and how you're muting. There's a lot to
It's
it.
the same kind of thing.
No.
What I do with the pandero there is like, yeah, which is the same. You know, it's the same. You're right.
Right. Now, when we're on drum set, you've got to do that with just one hand. So you've got your floor tom there, basically in the same position.
Yeah.
And you do it with your right hand and with the mallet, and you dampen. How do you do that?
Actually, then I will play.
Oh, your left hand, yeah. Right.
I would play like. Just give me some here. Yeah. I would go. You know. This is a nice, very nice rhythm, by the way, to be played like this. See, it's like surdo and counter surdo. Down, ding, down, ba. Bam, 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 bam. See? It's basically it's the same.
You would move that up to the toms.
Yeah, that's why you see, like, when people, they ask me specifically, how is the maracatu rhythm or the caterete rhythm, you know? Or, you know, what is the difference between the shot in South Brazil and in Northeast Brazil, and so on and so on. See, I never really bought any books by anybody and read them so I can tell them exactly what it is. There are some basic rhythms, Brazilian, Afro-Brazilian rhythms, that they have been, you know, they've been there forever, and they are the basic rhythms for everything else that is going on top. And then in different states of Brazil, we play it differently, those rhythms, but basically they are the same.
Variations, yeah.
Caxixi, in reality, this is the caxixi, it's the small one.
Smaller.
This is a caxixi too, but this is from Africa and this is from Brazil. Right. You know, but let's say this is a caxixi. Shakers, let's say shakers. This is a shaker too, you know. Right? This is from Cuba, you know, so it's a little kind of a tourist thing, but I like it. You know,
so the caxixi, the smaller one, is normally with the berimbau.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, with the berimbau, which is a bow. Looks like a bow and arrow, you know, without the arrows, of course. And it's got a gourd that resonates and one string, and it goes wow, 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 you know, it sounds. Right. I'll demonstrate that later on. Somewhere.
But in your right hand
is the caxixi.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of took it away from that, and also got some different sizes.
It's true. Well, I was I don't know if I was the first one because, and I didn't see the other people, but I was one of the first ones that played the caxixi without the berimbau. See, because I wanted to play drums and percussion at the same time, or triangle, like, you know, like maybe playing like this, you know, like you go. And then you go on the bass drum, you go. You know, to get this or.
That's great.
Just play two things, to have two sounds at the same time. So I started using different kind of shakers. You know, any shaker that I would, that I had, that I could do that. You know, like this one here too. You know.
Right. Show us some of the two-handed patterns that you play. Is there any particular rhythms, or you just improvise?
Well, let's say if I'm playing, you know, like Latin music, salsa or Afro-Cuban rhythms. So I was just in Cuba, you know, for the second time, and I jammed with the guys, you know, because they like the way I play and everything. But I'm always very careful about what I play with them because they're very particular about their beats, you know. You know, I really hope someday they just give up all that stuff and just play together, really. But right now, you know, they're very, you know, everybody's just so particular about their beats, you know. And so when they go, the you know, you go right. So you go the clave, right?
Right.
If you play the clave, I like to play the clave on this, like or. Or you can play even 6/8. This is a beat that I could play with them without, you know, without getting those looks, you know, like, oh, Airto, what are you doing, man? You know, you're ruining our stuff. So that was a good thing, you know, for me. It's a good thing for people to learn, actually.
It's a nice coordination thing, yeah.
Yeah, then the other thing is for solos. This is good for solo also.
Right.
And I use my voice also to go, you know, like, you know, like, you know, I think people, they should use whatever they can, you know, like if you can beat something else with your foot, just go ahead and do it. Because it's more sounds that you get, and it's more, you know, it's like you open up, you know, more. And it's, you know, to use your voice, I think is very important too, you know, time to time. But that's the main technique here.
Do you alter them by putting different things inside and changing
Yeah,
them?
you know, also is that, yeah. You know, it's this movement here too. Some people, they really can play this thing very well.
Wow, that's good.
So, you know, or see, like, this one, you know, I always like to have the higher one in my right hand. And then the lower one here is like ching 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 you know.
That's great. So you have less What do you have in each of these?
Well, it's pretty much the same thing. It's a little seed. It's a black and red seed from Brazil. It's called mulungu. But you can put little pebbles also. You know, like the pebbles are nice. I wouldn't put beans on it because beans, they break. You know, corn, it's okay. I mean, like popcorn is okay. But then you get that more fine kind of sound. Tss, instead of cha. You know, this is more like, this is my loud ones. You know, it's like. Right, because I play live a lot, you know, and this one is the other one. You know, this one has got corn in it, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
So you just put more of it in there to create the bass, the lower pitch?
No, it's the sound of the instrument, you see.
Oh, okay. It's more of the instrument.
Yeah, it's just, and also what I do, I paint this with glue. You know, like the white kind of glue. I get a brush and I paint the instruments with glue. So they are solid, you know, you can really, you know, look at this. They are solid, you don't break them, you know. Otherwise, you know, they just fall apart, you know, after a month or 2 months, they're gone. So what I do, you know, and then if I close this a little more, if I paint a little more this one, it gets more, I get more lows out of it also, because it closes more, you know, it's like, you know, sound is like that, right? It's like air. It's like, it's close, you know, the sound gets, like, you know, like lower, you know, register. And then you go, so this one is more open, as you can see, you know. And this is more close.
Show me the tambourine.
Oh, okay. Not the pandeiro, right? The tambourine.
No.
Okay, tambourine is a small drum, and is used mainly actually in Rio de Janeiro, for samba, yeah, in samba schools. And there is 2 ways to play: it's the right way and the way I play. No, actually, yeah, I never really learned the right way, which is, it's pretty much like.
So how different is that from the pandeiro strokes, except that you're using a stick? Is it that different?
Well, would be the pandeiro would be. You see, it's got this movement.
Right, the
anyways, and also this one here, you know, with the finger here.
Right.
So you would get. One, two, three.
So it's like 3. How many opens?
3 down, 3 open.
Right.
No, 2. 2 first. 1, 2, 1. Close.
Okay, close.
1, 2. So the first 2 are open. Then the third one is closed.
Okay, with a turn.
With a turn, and then 3 open.
Okay.
Okay, so it's like. So like some guys, they just play it up here. They go, you know, like I can't do that really. So I have my own trick that I get any kind of coin, like this one is a quarter.
All right.
And a tape, the magic.
Magic tape.
Magic tape.
Rock and roll tape.
And I just tape the quarter here to my finger. So I can get this sound here, okay? So then I just go
flat.
So then I go. So then you go 1, 2, 3, 4.
So that way,
you know, you can vary different kinds of rhythms in this. You know, depends what you play and what kind of song you're playing.
And you don't have to keep a straight pattern going with the right hand because that breaks it up.
You don't. I vary a lot. Actually, in Brazil, would be very hard to somebody to really put a video together or a book saying, okay, these are the Brazilian rhythms, because in Brazil, from one, sometimes like in Rio, they have different samba schools, right? Right. But they all play different from each other. It's you know, at least 40 or 50. I mean, probably much more. But and they all have their own style, their own samba, different kind of samba and marcha that they play. You know, so marcha is like a marching kind of thing.
Is that based on different neighborhoods or
yeah, it's based on different neighborhoods, and they know, you know, who is coming. They don't have to see if they hear the talkies of the Escola de Samba, how they sound. They go, oh yeah, that's Portela, or you know, or they know everything. You know, they know of each other. Right. So just by the sound, like from far away. So so I'm just showing you a practical way that I found out, instead of just you know, practicing a lot, an instrument that I didn't grow up with. You know. Right. Because this is from Rio, I'm from South Brazil, you know, it's like it's a whole different ball game. And so I just do it like this. You know, of course, you know, a professional tamborin player, he will look at this video and say, oh man, look at the guy, how jive can he be, you know, playing like this? Because the guys, they are ridiculous. They play real good and real fast and clean. But that's all they do. Right. They can't, you know, most of them, they can't play cuica or pandeiro or a good ganzá shaker, a good shaker. They cannot play that. They don't play that good. But they play one thing real good.
Can you show us some cuica techniques?
Again, the way I play the cuica is not right. But it's the most practical way, the way that I could get a better sound, especially because I don't wear a strap. A real cuica player, you know, wears a strap, and this, you know, the cuica is strapped here, and plus this one is a little cheap one that somebody just brought me, you know, from Brazil. And then when you have the strap, you have it like this already, so you use your hand up here, and with this finger here, and actually with two fingers, sometimes these two here, you press as close to the center as you can without touching the center, the actual center. Right. Because inside there is a bamboo stick. Right. And if you touch the bamboo, it won't vibrate. It won't go, you know what I mean?
So the bamboo goes through the head.
See? So if you touch the bamboo goes through the head and is attached to the, you know, right on the center. So then you play like this. That's the right way, right? Like this.
Real close, almost touching it.
Yeah. Now I play like this with my thumb because I don't wear the strap, so I have to hold it. Right. Hold the instrument. I just pick it up, boom, and I'm ready to play. And with my thumb, I can get the sound. And then inside, I think you can get it from this side here. You know, this is a wet cloth that you don't press too much. You don't have to press too much, but you press that against the bamboo thing.
And just get enough friction going?
Yeah, enough friction going so it just goes, you know. And then you control the sound in front of the instrument right here. When you press, it goes up.
Right.
So you're going. You know, whatever. So that's it for the cuica.
So it's all a pulling motion with the right hand.
Yeah, well, it's a pulling and pushing also. See?
Okay. So So it takes a while just to get used to just the right hand.
Yeah, the main thing is not to press too much, because then, you know, it doesn't really vibrate. And you might just pull the stick off the instrument or break, you know, because that breaks very easy, it's bamboo.
Right. Is that like a calf head on there of some sort?
Yeah, yeah, it's a calf head.
Okay. Now that's a smaller size, right? I mean, there's much larger than that.
That's
like typically what you use with your setup.
Well, I play the cuica just in special occasions, really, because if it requires, because when you play the cuica, you can't play anything else. So you use both hands, and then the only sound you can get is this, you know. So you don't really need this sound that much, unless if you're playing with a band that you're not playing the rhythm for them. Then you can just go over your stuff and play all kinds of things. Then you can play the cuica easy, I mean, if they let you. So, you know, because this sound, you know, you don't play this kind of sound everywhere, you know.
Right.
You have to have a reason for it.
Is this another example where it can be a very specialized instrument, where you've got solo cuica people that might get called for, you know, recording sessions and so forth?
They play songs, man. The cuica players in Brazil, I mean, some of the guys, they play like entire songs on this. You know, of course, they make their own cuicas. They prepare them for like, you know, months and months, and they, you know, they put some oil on it. I think it's palm oil, red palm oil.
On the
That's
head?
what I heard. Yeah, I don't know because I never seen it, but I heard that the guys, they do that to get a better sound and everything. But I just played for the sound, and I don't play any songs.
Let's move on to the triangle. That's a predominant instrument in the style of Bayon.
Right.
And is that kind of where it originated, or do you just find it a lot in that music? Or?
You find it a lot in that music. It's one of the basic instruments in that kind of rhythm, like chachado and Bayon, which there, you know, of course, is two basic strokes, open and close, right? And then close. So usually, okay,
you always hold it rather than
people, they hold the triangle like this on their toe, you know, and they control here, or they hold over their fingers like this. It's more common. But then you don't get a good sound.
The ring.
So what I do, I get a little, you know, a piece of string or whatever.
Okay.
This is I got from my luggage, you know, from my.
The luggage tag?
Yeah, they give you this at the airport.
Which is, so it's got some elastic and
yeah. But it doesn't have to be that.
Okay.
So what happened is, see, I make a little ring and I put the ring on my toe. See, so then you get a free sound. Right? So then you can go. Also, you don't hold this too hard. You kind of lose, you know. Otherwise, you get. So you kind of go, you know.
Okay, and the rhythm goes just back and forth like 16th notes between. Okay.
Or you can go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Should be. Or you can go like 1, 2, 3, 4, open. So you can start with open or close.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
now those patterns would be for contemporary music, let's call it, or something. The Bayon pattern, it's got an open tone with like where your first bass drum beat would be, and then it's open also on where the next one is. Boom, to boom, 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 to open, open. Can you play it again?
It's like One.
Open.
One, two.
Okay.
See, like, you kind of, you almost like just go like, you don't go, you know,
Right.
because if you stiff your hand, immediately you get tired. So instead of going, what, you know, one, two, three, you just go, da, 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 da. So like, instead of, it gets too confused.
What about for some of the, you know, pop dates and stuff that you've done?
Oh, it's more
recording
like-
sessions. Yeah. Do you carry different sizes?
Yeah. Yeah, I carry different sizes because depends the kind of music and also the different sizes of bitters. I mean, this one is gigantic, you know. It's real loud, you know. I have to play this far from. See, this is more like. You see, it's much warmer because it's a yellow metal. It's kind of, you know, it's a, how do you call this metal, man?
I'm not sure.
Well, it's like brass or whatever, you know, it's like soft metal.
Is that like a door pin? What is that?
Yeah, this is a door pin. Actually, Flora bought a thing in Japan. It's you know, this is part of this little door that I stole it from her. So you know. It's got a great sound, though.
What about the triangle? That's got a unique.
Well, this is iron that they use for construction. Okay, see all the grooves here.
Right.
So that's made of that, but it's got a beautiful sound.
It's a great sound.
And it's you know, it's strong. I mean, it's loud enough to cut through, you know, most of, you know, even if everybody's playing, you can get a nice hard, you know, bitter, and you go. I mean, this cuts through real good.
So with your band, you're just using that size, and you just change the size of the beater to.
Yeah, now, yeah. But you know, when you record, when somebody asks you to record, and you know that there's some triangle there, then you know I take like 4 or 5 triangles.
Airto, can you take us on a tour of your table?
Well, you see, the conception is when you pick something up, let's say this, the shaker, right? And you play the shaker. And then you pick another shaker up and you go, right? So it's nothing else you can play because your hands are taken, both hands. So I wanted to play more sounds always, right? So what I did actually is to set up almost like a drum set, okay? And then I can play with sticks. And then the first thing, when I was playing with Miles Davis actually, on the 70s, I was just putting my instruments in the floor, okay? And I would sit on the chair and pick them up and play. And which, you know, worked out well with that band. But then if you're playing also the groove, okay? You know, how can you keep the groove and play all the colors and everything? It's kind of hard. So then I adopted a table, a small table. And then the second thing, Peter Engelhardt, which is a friend of mine, that he makes all this stuff here. He's a metal sculptor and instrument maker. So Peter built a table for me, like a special table, nice. It was not even this one; it was an older one. And I put a bass drum under it, you know. So it was like I had the bass drum finally, and then I could hit all these things. And little by little, I set up. It's almost like a small drum set here, see? Because over here I have the cymbals, let's say. Okay. even though it's a much funkier sound.
Now that's something that Peter made?
Yeah, this he made a long time ago. Actually, this was, if not his first instrument, it was one of the very first ones.
Really?
And actually, he just came to see me in Berkeley another day, and he was like, "Oh, you still have that," you know. So
it was something
I like this because it's got a good sound, and it's, you know, pretty funky,
right,
natural, even though it's metal. And I can hit this, you know, like real hard and never breaks. So, you know, I can really, you know, take big, good blows on this.
Now, what's the pad on top of that?
Well, that's for my special things here. I have these two brushes here, which, you know, this one, let's say you have this sound. It's more metallic, right? Right. Then you want a more natural kind of sound. You have this. So then it's like, this is almost like tom-toms. See? Like I did a tour with the Crusaders. I mean, I did many tours with them.
Right.
The Jazz Crusaders or the Crusaders, whatever. And one of the main rhythms that I was playing with them, it was like, I'm going to use the bass drum too, and just you will hear the sound.
Okay.
It's like so I am actually using this as a cymbal or a hi-hat.
Hi-hat, yeah.
And this as tom-toms. You see? That's a tom-toms too. And this is like some effect, some crazy kind of cymbal. So, you know, you go. But the main axe really is this one here and the bass drum.
And all those you can get from sitting down.
Yeah, because, you know, when I sit down, I can reach, you know, everything here, you know. You know, like a... So, you know, and I can play this. I can even reach as far as here and here.
And you also ride on, these are also Peter's.
Yeah, I ride on this
You ride
too.
on the springs.
Yeah. And then I can pick something up like this, you know, and just go. Those are different patterns, you know, or something like this, you know, go. Many things you can do, you know. At the same time, you know, you're playing rhythm, you know. And you put it down, you know. I never put these things down like this. Actually, I put it down much more gently, you know, like gentle like this, blam. So you don't make too much noise when you put things down.
Right.
And I kind of, what I do, I keep an eye on everything that is on the table. I know exactly where they are.
Right.
So, you know, if I need a sound right away, I just go, yeah, boom.
Right.
And I have that sound, you know.
Do you keep your metals together and your woods together?
Actually, it happened kind of naturally. They are kind of together, but I don't try to do that, you know, separate metal. I play, let's say, as a sound, yes, but not the instruments. You know, I don't have to keep all the metal in one place.
Okay.
But you're right, you know, it's kind of, they're concentrated right here.
Now, the one thing that I've noticed when we were setting up yesterday, you've got all these things on tape. There's tape underneath. That's the key to letting them vibrate and sound, and also keeps them in place from
Yeah, it's
running
true.
around.
I mean, listen to this cowbell here. It's a full, nice, full sound, right? Now, okay, you take this and you put it down. See? This is what you get, and this is what you get. See, it's like, it's a huge difference.
Right.
So what I do, I put one tape over here. Forget about Velcro, doesn't work, okay? I'm sorry, Velcro, but you know, I tried everything really. And you put, you know, another little ball, you know, with the tape, you put it over here. Don't put it in the center, because then you take the sound out of the instrument. So you put it over here, one here, and one right here, and you keep this area open for resonance. And then the instrument is in the air, you see?
That's great.
It's right, it's suspended.
That works
kind of.
better for you than having the things mounted and
Yeah,
rods
I
and all that.
don't know. I like funky things because it's no complication. You know,
Right.
if the tape comes off, you make another ball and boom, and that's it.
Right.
And then if the mouth, you know, breaks, then you have to call somebody, you know.
Right.
And it's no good. You know, you have to be able to fix your own things. Otherwise, you know, it's just, you need a technician 24 hours a day to take care of your stuff.
You've got them taped up too on the mouth here, right? There's a little pad inside this one a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah, so they don't ring too much. They don't go bang, bang, you know, like this one here. See? The difference. Because that's open. That's really to be like this, you know, it's like bang, you know. But this, I don't want them to. I want this to sound almost like drums, you know. Like round. Plus, I play with, most of the time I play with mallets, hard mallets and soft mallets. This looks like something else. But. So anyways, then I have other things here. I have, you know, my little toys here, Japanese toys, you know. You can play anything like you can go as an effect, or you can play rhythm.
And when you're playing live and also in the studio, do you mic in stereo and then play things to
actually,
different
yeah,
mics,
it's just the way it is now. You know, it's one mic. Actually, I put the mic right here, so I get more of this and less of this, because that's too loud. So I try to keep the microphone away from the loud stuff. And this one is okay like this, because it will pick up. And this too. Okay, this is pretty loud, actually. And so the mics are just like that. And this one here, when they have enough microphones, then I use one in the middle just for my, my main acts here. Okay. And then, I have other things to just make sounds, like nature sounds.
Right.
Like a free thing. They go, hey, oh, 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 hey. See, like I have no, really, what could I say? I have no rules in my playing, really. I just hit things with things. That's what I do. And I get sounds, mainly. Then, you go by, you go on the sound here, and then you reach for that. Then you go, ah. And then you have this, this nature sounds going on. I get my bird calls and I go, yeah, that's right. You know, here they are, you know. Ela bateu! Olha aí, cuidado, meus amigos. Feira Matego. Epa! Sugar vai pegar. Opa! Olha aí. Queima na outra. Olha lá. And you kind of project. You see, you don't just blow the whistle. You are a bird. When you play this thing, you have to imagine that, you know, the sky, you know, even if it's, you know, you are underground on this club or whatever, if you don't get in touch with the nature when you play nature, then you don't get that to the people. You see, the people, they don't understand that you're going to be just like, you know, some guy that never been in the woods and going... You know, birds, they don't go like that, you know. And then you pick up something like this, you don't go, you know, you kind of go, you know what I mean? You are a bird when you do these things, you know, and you go. You know, so then you go, then you go to metal, you know. Put this now, yeah. Then I have this thing here that goes. And I have these double things here. I don't even know how they call, but you know, I buy them in Germany. They're great. It sounds almost like birds flying away or something, you know, like. So, you know, these are all like nature. I call them nature sound. I used to take long walks. I mean, like 5-6 hours walk in, you know, in the, not in the rainforests, but you know, in the woods, pretty heavy woods actually. And we used to find caves and all kinds of stuff. And I was always in tune with the sounds of nature. That's why I have all these bird calls, and you know, and this stuff here and this. I make things out of nothing, which, you know, this looks like a mouse trap. But in reality, you know, that's the way it works, you know. So, you know, you get something like this, you know, together with, you know, a bird call like this, you know, like. You know, the wooden sounds and the bird calls and everything.
It becomes totally different.
Yeah, it's all of a sudden you take the people out of the city reality, out of the place, you know, they're sitting, they're watching you play, and if you transport yourself mentally to the places where you're playing, you almost like representing nature when you're playing that. So then you take the people with you. They just, you know, they love it, man. You know, they get amazed with this stuff. And, you know, I have other things here, you know, like this, you know. And I have things like, you know, this is from an old refrigerator, actually. You know, and this, I don't know yet what I'm going to do with this. This was a vase that they gave me in Japan right now when I was playing there, you know, so far. But I'm going to make some, you know, a hackle out of here, a guiro, whatever. And maybe a shaker, you know, who knows? It's just, that's, you have to have imagination for everything, actually, in life, you know.
Right. And imagination without the experiences is not going to cut it. It's not just a matter of just practicing these things. It's also experiencing them.
Yeah, I mean, you have to live with your instrument, you see. These days, it's not music, it's show business. It's music business. And it's a whole new thing that the new generation of musicians, they learn actually that if they know how to deal with some computers and business, you know, it's like, okay, they can program some drum machines and things like that. And they can sample some great sounds like this one, you know, or whatever, right? If they can sample this, and they can put inside of a cold metal machine and press the button and they hear this, you know. So they think, okay, now all I have to do now is to get a lawyer and a manager and everything will be okay. You see, that's not the way it goes. You have to have love for music. You have to have respect for music. You have to live. That's your life, man. You have to live that stuff, you know. Otherwise, you're not a complete musician. That's my way to see it. Even though you could be a very rich man in 5 years, but you won't be happy.
São 7 sementes que eu mandei buscar, 7 sementes do meu maracá, 7 sementes que eu mandei buscar, semente verde do meu maracá, 7 sementes que eu mandei buscar, 7 sementes do meu maracá, 7 sementes que eu mandei buscar, semente verde do meu maracá, preta velha de aguenta, eu mandei chamar, pra mirar
Here we go, back to the basics.
Right, so if you're playing offbeats, the second note of the bass drum phrase is an offbeat, so they'll be together.
Right. Bah! Like no matter what I play up, you know, like I always I go back to, because that's, you know, is to reinforce the bass. It's like reaffirm that you know, the beat is there, the groove is there, is set.